What's up, guys? It's your boy Swan Belcher. This is me taking action on Instagram and YouTube. Full-time real estate investor, here to show you how to make as much money as you want in a 30-day period of time while you cherry pick the very best deals for yourself. Now today I'm at a hotel, and really for the last 4 to 5 years we really haven't stayed at many hotels. We've been staying at Airbnbs, okay? But hotels like this are still really attractive. Now we actually stayed here because we brought the whole family down from Cincinnati, Ohio. Well, I didn't bring them down, my wife did. She absolutely surprised me, took me out of my whole work environment. It took me like 3 days to tap into vacation, but all good. We here. I enjoyed my time, but we decided to stay here for a few different reasons over staying in an Airbnb. Number one, it's right on the beach. Are there some houses on the beach that you can rent on Airbnb? For sure, but the prices are definitely crazy. I don't mind the prices. But two, it has these little resorts. Literally, it has like 7 pools in this joint. It has like a slide over here. It has a restaurant and 3 different bars. So that makes it easy for 15 people to be in one place and hang out all day long without spending, you know, extra money, you know, at the grocery store and things like that, you know. And then number 3, my family member really likes, one of my family members, well, it's my father-in-law, he really likes being around people, okay? When he goes on vacation, he wants to talk to people. He don't want to be by himself. And so that was a little bit of a decision maker for my wife picking this particular spot, okay? Now on to the conversation. Hotels have dominated this vacation short-term rental space for so long, okay? Now the government realizes that, and they like it because they benefit from the property taxes, from the insurance, and all the jobs that it provides to the economy. Hotels are huge businesses. I mean, think about how much power this one building that has almost 1,000 doors can generate. You know, I mean, that the Duke energy bill is gotta be over $150,000, maybe over $200,000 a month. These buildings generate millions of dollars per month, employ hundreds of people per month, so the government looks after them. Now, since the whole COVID epidemic, right, that caused places like this where people gather together in bulk numbers to kind of retract from. So for almost like a year and a half, nobody went to hotels, and so Airbnb exploded out of nowhere. I mean, literally, why would you want to go to a place where you can get sick? Next thing you know, you're at the hospital on a ventilator and you're down for a month. Some people even died. So places like this, nobody wanted to go to. And that's where you saw the rise of Airbnb, okay? Now, when you saw the rise of Airbnb, you also saw an influx of real estate investors getting into these properties, buying more properties specifically for Airbnb, and so people could come in and travel for a week, or for, you know, business, you know, people come in and travel in for 2 or 3 weeks. Now, this caused devastation in the hotel industry, because while regular everyday people, right, who are paying lower property tax, who are providing less jobs, are making crazy amounts of money in the short-term rental space, while these big hotels are suffering and can barely pay to keep the lights on, or even pay their property taxes, or even keep their staff that they have hired on staff. This caused a huge uproar in government regulations, because they realize that if these buildings aren't paying their property taxes, if they're not providing jobs, that makes their city not as attractive. On top of that, if these landlords who are typically, you know, renting to people who have low income, that are on Section 8, that are private pay tenants, that are just trying to, you know, stay in that city, it really takes away from the available housing that we have in that city. And seriously, if you don't have enough housing to provide for the amount of growth that your city is experiencing, it's not good for the city. So a bunch of regulations started growing up. You saw it everywhere. In New York, Atlanta, North Carolina, Phoenix, Texas. It's happening all over the place. And because of that regulation, more than anything, the Airbnb stock has dropped significantly. Now, stock doesn't necessarily determine how well the software will perform and how much money people will make. But I'll tell you, from my personal portfolio, out of 7 doors I had in my busy season, I had a whole 2-month dry period. Only 1 out of the 7 was rented out during that period. Now, luckily, all of my stuff is not short term, so it hurt. I definitely felt it because it was $10,000 missing off of the books, at least, you know, both of those months. And now, you know, it's definitely kind of, you know, swayed my thoughts on how many short-term rentals I should have. But what do we do though? Seriously, do we just wait it out because we know that the amount of short-term rentals is going to go down, and once the supply is down, everybody who stays on the app will continue to make more money? Do we change our strategy and not go for, you know, tourists that are here for the weekend and start going for business owners? What do we do? Well, I will say that I had to look hard at my portfolio and its performance, and I was like, dang, okay, well, I'm gonna sell my 4 unit. I got $150,000 equity in it. Shoot, I'm gonna cash out on that. But my other 4, I'll leave those out there to perform. Okay. Now, what does this mean for short-term rentals? I honestly don't know. I love the business. My properties stay cleaner. On average, I still make more, even though it's slower. Even though it's almost 45% slower than what it was last year, I still make more on average with my short-term rentals. They stay, my houses stay nicer, which of course makes my values on my properties go up even more. Now, is this the Airbnb bust or not? I don't know. Should you be changing up your strategy? Heck yeah. To be learning how I'm changing up my short-term rental strategy from targeting tourists, which I've never really done, honestly, but from making $2,500 a month, now some of my houses are only making $1,200 a month. Stay tuned. I would love to share how I'm shifting my strategy so that way we can go back to, okay, that way we can go back to an average of 20 days per night booked at the maxed nightly rates that you guys want to get booked at. Okay, remember, if you guys want to get into real estate investing, follow me right here on IG. And you don't need all 3 to do a deal: time, money, and knowledge. You just need 2 to do you. Peace, y'all.